A man should choose a friend who is better than himself. There are plenty of acquaintances in the world, but very few real friends. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a month, get married. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Insanity is doing the same thing in the same way and expecting a different outcome. Love is not about possession, it's all about appreciation. Love at first sight. It's generally used for people, but you can also use it for other physical objects. Time is money, and it is difficult for one to use money to get time. Tell me and I'll forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I'll understand. To forget one's ancestors is to be a brook without a source, a tree without root. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but the view is always the same. Sex is like money, only too much is enough. A man who cannot tolerate small misfortunes can never accomplish great things. Better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. There are two kinds of perfect people, those who are dead, and those who have not been born yet. Listening well is as powerful as talking well, and is also as essential to true conversation. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you give him a fishing rod, you feed him for a lifetime. To get through the hardest journey we need take only one step at a time, but we must keep stepping. A jade stone is useless before it is processed, a man is good for nothing until he is educated. Education is what turns people into. True knowledge is when one knows the limitations of one's knowledge. It is important to recognize the limits of your education. Vicious as a tigress can be, she never eats her own cubs. A mother never hurts her children, even if she is strict. Once bitten by a snake, he or she is scared all is slash her life at the mere sight of a rope. Trauma causes people to fear things that they have no reason to fear. A crisis is an opportunity riding the dangerous wind. It's better to be without a book than to believe a book entirely. A little impatience will spoil great plans. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. If you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, if your strength is small, don't carry heavy burdens. If your words are worthless, don't give advice. If you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. Man's schemes are inferior to those made by heaven. A wise man makes his own decisions, an ignorant man follows the public opinion. Parents who are afraid to put their foot down usually have children who step on their toes. A diamond with a flaw is better than a common stone that is perfect. If you must play, decide upon 3 things at the start: the rules of the game, the stakes, and the quitting time. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. A bit of fragrance clings to the hand that gives flowers. A book holds a house of gold. A book is like a garden carried in the pocket. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. A fool judges people by the presents they give him. A gem is not polished without rubbing, nor a man perfected without trials. Be not afraid of growing slowly, be afraid only of standing still.